before people were afraid to go onto the water, and before they were really afraid to look in the sky and see a cloud and get scared. Nope. There was this film, and it kind of terrorized me as a kid. Welcome to another episode of the Popcorn Confessional. This is Dave from Nerdbox, and I'm accompanied by my wife, Jen, also from Nerdbox. And on this episode of the 31 Days of Halloween, we are talking about the birds. So fire up that Jiffy Pop and meet us in the booth.
Melanie Daniels runs into lawyer Mitch Brenner, who, unknown to her at the time, was hired to prosecute her in a case. After a sharp exchange of words that could be misconstrued as flirting, Melanie tracks Mitch down to a vacation home with a present of 2 lovebirds. Soon after her arrival, though, the town is besieged by birds who attack the townsfolk without any explanation.
This is brought to you by Alfred Hitchock.
Was clearly demented.
Yeah, in real life too. The
Yes.
shit that he did to Tippi Hedren,
Yes.
who plays Melanie Daniels, is just uncalled for. And if it happened today, he probably would have never made a film again.
No, he would have definitely been a part of like the whole Me Too movement based on the things that he did. So.
Yes, not sexual, just mental torture.
Yes, mental torture. Horrible.
For me, this is my all-time favorite Hitchcock film. Sure, there's Psycho that's out there, but for me, it is The Birds. It's based off of a short story of the same name, which was written by Daphne du Maurier. Maybe I said it right. That came out in 1952, and also, like Jaws, it is inspired by a real-life event that happened in Monterey, California in 1961. Now, as I mentioned, much like Jaws, we have that slow build up to our climax at the end, where largely for the beginning of the movie, it's character driven. There's a lot of story, and for the life of me, I don't know why our girls sit through the story, but it's because, I guess, of the payoff at the end.
Yeah, because this movie's actually really long.
It is. Yeah, because really it's like Melanie, she's a stalker and she's pursuing Mitch with these 2 lovebirds that she's going to leave on his doorstep and say, haha, I stuck it to you, sucker.
Yeah, didn't really work that way.
No, it didn't really work that way. Now, an interesting thing that Alfred Hitchcock did with the film Birds here is the hysteria scene that plays out in the middle of the movie in a small diner. Of course, you have this one woman who is the know-it-all that thinks, well, birds couldn't attack people, that's just not a part of their nature. And then you have another woman that just becomes hysterical and thinks Melanie is a witch. When you see a scene like that and you see the state of the world today, nothing much has changed. Or some people just have not evolved.
Well, you're always going to have the know-it-all Karen, so to speak. There's always going to be that person.
There is a scene, like I said, terrified me as a kid, and that is the one by the schoolhouse. And there's a lot of people that I know that are older than me that watched this movie and said the same things. Like, yeah, I'm kind of afraid of birds now.
Yeah, this movie absolutely terrorized my mother. She saw this movie when she was a kid. Obviously, whoever showed it to her was not in their right mind, because I don't know why you would show this to a little kid and be like, let's watch a movie about birds.
Unless you're us. That's what we did.
Yeah. Then there's us.
It's good to scare your kids.
Sometimes. But yeah, so my mom was like traumatized by this movie, and I don't think that she ever watched it again. I think she watched it the one time and she was good, and now she doesn't like when she sees birds outside.
Now, for the time that this came out, and you think about some of the movies that have come out since then, the birds look pretty damn good.
They do.
And I've seen movies that are after it, like somebody tried to make their own version of the birds, and it was just horrible CGI birds. Horrible. It looked like a video game bird.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you have some great special effects in this that was used, and It's all believable. And I'm going to go back to the school scene, man. That is probably one of the most terrifying scenes in cinematic history.
Yeah, right, because they didn't care. I mean, these birds, much like Jaws, right? They didn't care if there were kids involved. If you were in the way, if you were in their line of sight, you were going to get hurt.
Yep. So, have you seen this film? If not, it's definitely worth checking out this year and putting it on your list and seeing how you're doing with the Nerd Box Challenge. Like we said, we're going across a span of 8 decades of different horror films, some that we've seen for the first time, some we haven't seen in a decade or two, and then some that we have on our list yearly to watch. So let us know what you're watching this year. Not just the same old Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger and Jason. Expand a little bit. That's why we're doing this, so you get to check out some movies that you may not have seen or may have forgotten about.
Yeah, there's so many out there.
Who talks about the birds? Nobody. So it is definitely worth checking out. So if you're thinking about seeing a movie about something that's in the sky, skip Nope, go see the birds, much better movie, and then enjoy your Halloween. But before we do that, don't forget it is the quest for 5,000 subscribers, so you can help get us there by ensuring that you are subscribed to the channel, sharing it with other people by putting a like and comment in there, because it helps expand the audience that gets to see these videos, right? Because the more likes, the more comments, the more YouTube says, oh, people are watching this, let's suggest it to other people.
Yes. And then once we hit 5,000, you have a chance to win this one-of-a-kind Strawberries and Scream cereal that is signed by Matthew Lillard and David Arquette.
Yes, indeedy. Now, until tomorrow's episode on the 31 Days of Halloween, see you.